Hello, my dear astrolovers. Here I am for another update of the astro news of the week. As you might have noticed, I'm very spontaneous and I go with the flow. So it felt like today was the right day to bring you this message. So let me tell you the news. Stay until the end so that you don't miss anything. So last week was quite a journey. Okay, it was one of, let's say, the most moved weeks of the year. We had so many different movements. We had the new moon in Virgo and the solar eclipse in Virgo. We had Mars moving into Scorpio, Venus moving into Virgo, Mercury moving into Libra, Sun entering Libra. So lots of movements, lots of new things, lots of changes that are happening right now. And this week feels more of a week of integration. Because, of course, eclipses, and also there was an opposition between the Sun and Saturn, so being confronted with some truths, with choices, with reality. It has been a lot about choices, okay? Also, the topic, and it will be the topic for this month, it's about choices. Because Libra, the scales, balance, justice. When there is two, there is always a choice, there is duality. So, this is a month for us to align with our truth, to align with what is true to our hearts, what makes sense on a deeper soul level, and to act from there. Okay, so with this said, and hoping that you got some clarity during the new moon in Virgo, or even during the weekend with these movements, direction about your next steps, we come back for today. So today we have moon in Scorpio, tomorrow as well. Tomorrow there was also a square between Mars and Pluto, a trine with Sun and Pluto, a trine with Sun and Uranus. It's a lot of stuff transforming, basically. It's a lot of movements, it's a lot of unexpected things, commitments being tested, unexpected tests. So this is all part of the journey. So it really asks us to stay present, to stay true to ourselves, to stay grounded, and to have certainty. To have certainty that things will work out and that the efforts you put into the things that are true to your heart, they will indeed have a positive outcome. So with this moon in Scorpio, whenever we have moons in Scorpio, it's a call to go deep. And now even with Mars in Scorpio, it's normal that we feel more internal, more wanting to retrieve, maybe even feeling some deep intense emotions. It's Scorpio, it's not possible to not have some type of like resistance or confrontation that comes from this energy. But it's about alchemy. In the end, Scorpio is always about alchemy. So today we have this sextile between the moon and the south node. So both about the past. In the end, the south node is about the past versions, about past situations, about past lessons, about past patterns. So kind of like this moon can help us go into the past if we allow it. But question, do you really want that? Do you really want to rewrite the past, or do you want to move into a new timeline? That's the question. There is also a trine between the moon and the north node, and this is exactly that. So there is always a choice to repeat the past, a choice to go into a new timeline, to transform. So which path do you choose to take? Because even if it's cloudy right now, that doesn't mean that the sun will not shine. So it's really important to be aware of our reactivity. So Friday we still have a moon in Scorpio, which will transition after to Sagittarius. And on Friday we have a trine between the moon and Saturn, and between the moon and Neptune. So we always remember that the trines are like triangles, so it's like fluid energies are flowing, are helping each other. And again, when we have Saturn we have commitment, when we have Neptune we have possibilities, dreams, multidimensionality. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of a commitment test towards the story we are writing, and how much of the past are we still holding on to. I really feel this topic is very present right now, like this old version, new version, because we are closing cycles. This eclipse was also about closing cycles, opening new doors. But I feel this for myself, then you'll tell me if you feel it too. But it has been strong, this pull from the past to pull me back through patterns, through habits, all of that. So, question is, how much are we committed to the story we are writing? On Saturday we'll have a moon in Sagittarius, and we have a sextile between the sun and the moon. So this means also like a positive flow of energy, not as like the trine. It's not a triangle. It's like a star, so it has the star vibes. So again, now with the moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is about exploration, it's about having fun, enjoying life, celebrating, going deep. It's about journeys. So the sun in Libra, with the partnerships, with the balance, with the harmony that it craves so much, that it wants to invite in. How much of that is aligned with the need for exploration? How much of that is in synchronicity with the inner journeys you are calling upon? And it might also mean that in one of these inner journeys, the outer journey aligns. So like a click that happens through our consciousness of how we can align different worlds and different possibilities, and yeah, mediate in between worlds. So yeah, follow your feeling. I guess it's about that. On Sunday we still have the moon in Sagittarius. This energy goes on. So if you feel called to move somewhere, or to go somewhere, or to explore somewhere, it seems like the perfect time to do so. So allow that inner curiosity to manifest, but don't overlook your responsibilities, because that's also something of Sagittarius, the topic of commitment, of devotion, of responsibility. So balance. Sun is in Libra, it's about balance. It's about we bringing balance internally to manifest externally. And then on Monday, the moon is in Capricorn, so we have a more grounded, more earthy, more work, more devotional, more responsible, committed energy. This is the Capricorn energy, okay? Of course, in a moon is different. Moon is pattern, represents memory. So if there is, yeah, an imprint or habit of running away from responsibility or hiding in work, this could be activated. So it's about having the goal, having the vision, but finding the balance. On this day there are so many movements. So we have a trine between the sun and Saturn, a sextile between Uranus and Neptune, moon is squaring Saturn and Neptune, moon sextiles Mars. So yeah, lots of movements. Again, talking about this Sun Saturn. So last Sunday we had an opposition between the Sun and Saturn. Sun is like, okay, I'm gonna shine this way. This is my path. Saturn is like, are you sure? Are you sure you aren't missing X, Y, or Z? Or like you want to commit to something and then something else comes and says, but you cannot do that, you cannot commit to that. And like, how much are you committed to your vision, to your dream, to your goal? Remember that. In this case, when the moon squares the sun, so could be that you want to explore, you want to have fun, you want to be free, but then there are responsibilities. So that's the moon in Capricorn, like, hey, I know you want to do this, that, talk with X, Y, Z, but hey, you have work to do. At the same time, this work is supporting your vision, so don't ignore it, don't put it aside. So this is the great reminder. You can even use your gifts, your presence, your devotion, your dedication to manifest this. So basically it feels like reading this energy, that it's something like a confrontation between I want to have fun and I have to do XYZ task. But remember why you're gonna do that task. So remember that if this is in a devotional way towards your commitment, it's worth it. So always put the plates on the scale. Remember to do this during this month. And then on Tuesday, we still have the Capricorn moon. And this day we have a square between the sun and the moon, a sextile between the moon and the north node, a moon trining Venus, and moon trining the south node. So here there is a help. This feels like a help. Even if like the sun and the moon are a little disagreement between one and the other, between our masculine and our feminine, between the visible and the invisible, between expansion and contraction. But at the same time, maybe if we are, I want to be out so much, but we are being called to be in, there is a reason. And this reason is that maybe we will receive some pressures inside by being in, by being more internal. Or we will have a vision that we wouldn't have if we were hanging out and doing so many things. So this might be a very creative day. Also the moon trining Venus. So Venus is in Virgo, remember the details. It's also the artist. It's also the practical, the ritualistic, the organization. So it's maybe a perfect day to tend to our inner garden, to take good care, okay? To honor the cycles, honor the cyclicity. So it's quite an interesting week because it's not like so many movements. It feels more integration, also integration of what we learned last week with the eclipse, with the new moon, with all the new movements. We receive for sure some answers, some insights, some visions. So it's about honoring that, and it's about honoring the commitment. I feel like the topic of commitment is strong, okay, with this energy. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. It's about commitment, inner commitment, commitment to what is true to your heart. Always remember, reactivity is not taking you anywhere. So if you want to write a new timeline, what we call write a new timeline, means do things different if you want a different outcome. It's nothing more than that. Sometimes I get a little bit annoyed by this, writing a new timeline. Yeah, it's beautiful, but in practical terms, what means writing a new timeline is acting different. It's changing the way you behave. If something is not working and you always face a blockage, maybe change the way you act, transform it. So an old chapter is not written by no, that's not what I want to say. I want to say something like you cannot write a new story with the old story or characters or whatever. So if you want to do something different with your life, there are things you need to change. This is just metaphysics. It's just nature. Yeah. I love sharing those messages with you. I hope they can warm your heart or bring you some insights. Yeah, I really hope so. I really love it. So I send you a big, big hug. And of course, follow my channel, subscribe, recommend to your friends, and book your reading with me because I really, really love to do so. And it's so beautiful and so helpful. So that's it for today. Have a beautiful day.